this is Tawny. I am currently posting from my bedroom because I'm just getting dressed and changed to head off to my first night of practice for the football team I'm going to play on. Conversation on that on another day. Hopefully I survive. I'm playing with some other moms to support our kiddos that play. We'll do a lot of fundraising and be in a few games and basically be able to walk in our kiddos' footsteps and understand what they go through a bit and all the pain and bruises and fun and laughs and cries and all the things. But again, we'll do a lot of fundraising to raise money for the kids. So it's all for a good thing. I just know that I am going to be in pain. So just got to get through night 1 of practice, which we're just starting with CrossFit. So not actual football practice, but yeah, we'll see. One day at a time. I guess I don't even know. Different posts, different things. My eye looks all shiny. Discussing what life things I have gone through, I have been in moments. I'm struggling, I want to help other people. I want to like uplift and boost, and we all just need people to be around and need support in different ways, in various ways, and I'm not immune to that. I have my days where I need it, and then I have my days where I'm great, and I want to be that support for other people. And we all go through whatever we do, and it changes from day to day on the basis of what we're going through. So if you need me, reach out. I will help. I will support. Those of you that are there when I need somebody to reach out, I appreciate you, and I'm thankful for that. I just have been going through quite a lot over the last month, more over the last 4 months. And the main person that has been in part of that, of life and what I'm going through, he chose to make a post about it today. We're not friends on Facebook right now because life has just taken us in an interesting direction that I think neither of us foresaw happening 4 months ago or even a month ago, where we are finding ourselves in now. So we're not friends on Facebook. I couldn't see this post myself. We have many mutual friends. We met each other through a random group of friends, neither of us knowing anybody, and now have a great deal of mutual people, a lot of those people being my friends and my family, that we have gained together, and then some being, friends that we have met together and made at the same time. So just different dynamics. So yeah, there are still people in between. So me only finding out from this happening would be because it was posted, and again, mutual people saw it. I would read it, but I don't think I can pull it up from there. I was tagged in as in my name was in it, but obviously I couldn't see it. So this person posting it in the way that they did it in hopes that it would get to me and wanting it to get to me, right? I mean, we never know how to catch people or what to do or in what aspect or purpose it was for. A good amount of the post was also an apology post to other people and kind of just calling out a bigger issue that had happened, and I think apologizing to people in a way. So right when I'm initially getting this, it was screenshots from some friends of mine saying, you obviously wouldn't see this because you're not there, but here's what's posted. And a couple of people that I knew, their immediate negative reactions, like, you're airing, or he is airing your dirty laundry in such a public fashion, like your as in mine, because this has to do with both of us. And a few people felt really negative, like, that's not fair. That's not, did he ask your permission? Did he reach out? Like, that's not, you don't need your things aired out there. I didn't take that stance at all when I read it. I was at work and I ended up being in tears after reading it because it touched me, and I thought that it was a huge step for us to admit when we're going through something, or we have to deal with, or we have to acknowledge and we weren't right. And and we're sorry for it, and we need to, become better, and we owe people an apology because we've affected other people. That's huge to be able to, in a very public forum, put that out there and say that to people. That's a big deal. That's a huge step for a lot of people. Many can't admit it. Many don't ever want to apologize. And so, right, that's a big deal. So my response to them was, you guys, do I not record videos and post them on my YouTube channel, which is a very public forum, right? I am sitting at the moment, standing sometimes, sharing my life, and it, not always going to be my life. This specific topic was one I was going to broach. I haven't been able to yet. It's in the fashion that I saw having the conversation. It wasn't something that I could get through without being in tears. Without fully holding it, or how was I gonna, what did I want to say about it, what was important, and I was really just struggling to get there, so I wasn't there yet. So right, it's been the elephant in the room of what I needed or wanted to talk about, and I just haven't yet. So as they're saying, like, how dare he, I'm saying he's not wrong. It's actually his business more than it's mine. It was him that was at fault in the scenario of something was going on within himself, which made what happened happen in the first place. So if anybody gets to share it, he gets to share it. And he wasn't dragging my name through the mud or anything. It was an apology. So right, I'm over here saying, good for him. That is great. Like, that's a big step for him. And there's this quote a long time ago I read, and it has really stuck with me really strong. And it is, your apology needs to be as public as your disrespect was. It's, something along those lines of, you publicly treated me terribly. You publicly put me through something that, not in a way that necessarily the whole world was there for the situation at hand, but my entire world has fallen apart in front of everybody. My kids, my family, all of the people that are picking up my pieces, me struggling to get through days at work at times, like, all of these things for me, that is public. That is a very public thing, and all of my emotions are out there in front of everybody. You publicly did that to me. So I deserve you to publicly acknowledge what went wrong and what you did, and what you're, in this case, he's sharing what he's doing to fix it. That's totally fine. I'm not saying someone needs to air their dirty laundry or put all of their details out there. That's fine. But if you're able to treat somebody in a certain fashion in front of people or out there, or put it out there, or they have to deal, and then you want to ask for their forgiveness and you want the other chance, or to get to make it up or do all of that, well, then you need to be bigger, and you need to be willing to step up and own what you did, right? So this was my response to them, like, good on him. I didn't even have to say something in that fashion. He did that, and I was all for giving credit there. That was great. Good for you. I'm sure that was hard, and I hope you're fine through that, and not having too much anxiety of putting yourself out there. That's a tough place to be in. And as we're having these conversations, my friends aren't really acknowledging to post on it because nobody really knows what to say. There are a lot of people on my side that are very angry. What happened wasn't okay, and it was very terrible, and it was unforgivable in many ways. Without being able to really give those details, very unforgivable in majority of it. So they're not sure how to comment or what to post. Like, do they like it? Do they say, keep working on yourself? What do they do? So nobody's commenting, but they send me a screenshot of it. Well, by the screenshot, I can see it's not a public post, which is fine because nobody outside of where he wanted to post it needed to see, but it's not even a to all the friends post. is a very limited post. You can tell by the asterisk on Facebook. Anybody that uses it enough can tell. There are ways to limit your posts and change them. And being somebody that has coworkers on my Facebook, there are times and certain things that in my life I have removed or I don't need everybody to see. So now the question is, you very limited it. So someone on my behalf asked that. Well, I'm very curious that you limited this post. Who is it that you're hiding it from? Or who is it you're even willing to show it? Out of all of the, I don't know, 600 friends on Facebook, 1,000 friends on Facebook, I have no idea how many people he has on his Facebook. This post was viewable by 18 people. 18 people. Foot in my mouth on all of the credit that I wanted to give for that, because I saw this as you laying yourself out there, as you saying, I screwed up and I royally screwed up. And I'm sorry to you. So, like whether I was going to see the post or it was going to get to me, it was an apology to me. But it was also an apology to the people that have been around, to a group event that we were at, that 20 other people were at, and 20 other people dealt with it just in that single sitting. To the family and friends that have been by my side, supporting me, having to get me through this, encouraging me of it's okay, everything's going to be fine, whatever. His family that's been there. There is a far greater list than 18 people that in my mind should have been included in that list. If you're really remorseful and you're really looking to say an apology and put it out there and say, I'm having a hard time and I'm going through something, I'm really trying to work through it, and maybe looking for words of encouragement or maybe even feedback, because him and I have had this conversation. He has a lot of people in his life and on his page that have a military background like he does. And the post will end up being shared. It's regarding PTSD and where he's struggling and where he's at with it. So if you're really feeling remorseful and you're apologetic and you want to grow and you want to become bigger than what it is and move past it, would you not want your other friends that have military past to jump in and be supportive there? When you're able to say that you've reached out to other married couples with military past, or those that are engaged or have kids or have families, and say like, hey, man, how'd you deal with this? What do you go through? If you can honestly say that, then why did you limit those people? Why would you remove them? So these are situations that now when you went out of your way to make this post and to say what you were going to do, and you want to make it better and you want to move forward, yet you put this out in a very tiny box and you barely wanted to share it, and you barely want to tell anybody, and you barely want to open up. But you didn't barely put me through it. You didn't barely make me pay for what your past is. I guess I was willing to defend, and I was willing to explain, and I was willing to say. He was trying, he's working through it, like, this is huge, you guys aren't even understanding. But it's not all that huge. It was just to get a reaction from a few people. It was just to make me think it was a public thing so someone would share it with me, and it made it look like you were moving to that point. One thing I'm very big on when having conversations with people, about your behavior is we can all talk. We can all talk. But if you can't walk and back up what you have to say, I can't with it. It's pointless. Don't pretend you are, or pretend you're moving past it or getting better or growing, yet not really willing to completely walk there and do that. And find it's a growing process. I don't have a military background. I don't have certain demons that you suffer from in the past that he has. I have my own. I have my own world that I came from, that I grew up in, that I am stronger and stubborn because of, but that I don't put others through pain because of. I'm difficult because of those. I stand up for myself. I fight for things that I believe in because of those. But I don't portray it and put it on other people and make you have to suffer because of what I have been through. So I just have a very hard time standing in that place where I'm put through it. Yet you can use certain words, but you can't truly stand up and walk in the way that you're trying to tell me that you are. I don't know where I was going with this. I don't really know what to say. I wanted to acknowledge it in a positive way when I first saw it, and I thought that was so great. And then after the fact, I'm feeling more frustrated and struggling with it when one thing is said to me, but now I feel like it's completely different. So I just don't know. And I'm happy to listen to anyone that has found themselves in this situation, that you're in a relationship and you're struggling with PTSD or past scenarios or past situations to find yourself staying in a healthy relationship, because unfortunately that's what happened. We're in a great relationship and it was becoming unhealthy. There were problems arising that weren't making sense and were coming out of nowhere, and there was nothing that could have been done to stop them except for him seeking some type of outside help and acknowledging what he had been through and where to. But unfortunately, it got to the worst of the worst, and it got to the point that life exploded, and there was no more relationship to hold together because it was blown to smithereens over things that were by no fault of the relationship itself. So how do you work through those? How do you get through those? How do you not put that on your spouse or your significant others or your children? What are you doing to work past it? Or if you have somebody in your life like that, how are you forgiving them? How are you supporting them and understanding them, but not by putting yourself in a hard place, right? Like, I have a son that I want to learn and grow and be a great, strong man. I don't want him to pick up bad traits because someone is struggling with anger issues or how to deal with situations, and then he's going to pick up on that. So how do you get past those? How do you make sure that doesn't happen? Or is it not possible? I am open ears and I am willing to listen to anything. I have let him continue to fill me in on where he's at, what he's looking for, whatnot. We've had conversations. There unfortunately haven't been both-sided because I don't have anything to say, and I'm not putting up with it, and I'm not standing by because I didn't deserve to be treated the way that I was. I didn't deserve it. I didn't do anything for it to happen. I will never let someone think that's okay. I never want my kids to think that's okay. I would never allow one of my friends to go through that. So I'm not going to go through it. I also am understanding that people change and people get better, and we can be who we want to be if we're willing to, if we care enough to. But we have to do that for ourselves. You can't do it for me, and I can't do it for you. We have to become the best versions of ourselves because we need the best version. Because our kids need the best version. Not because our friends, not because our spouses or our significant others. Because if you're doing it for those people, it isn't a guarantee that they're always there. It unfortunately isn't. You are the absolute only person that is always going to be there. So if you can't do it for yourself, then you're never going to successfully be able to change it and better yourself. The reason you should do it for your kids is because they're your damn kids and you decided to have them. And when we decide to have kids, put all of your selfish bullshit aside and everything that you do is in light of your children, and other than yourself, no one. Get healthy for yourselves. Give me feedback. Give me tips. Tell me what helped you through this process. Tell me how to support someone because I care about him. I love him. But I also love myself and I love my son. And I need to have a good life and I need to have a positive life. And loving someone isn't enough to go through the ringer. Bickering, disagreements, those kind of things we go through with others. There are bigger things that we don't go through. I don't go through. I don't accept it and I won't. It's your own choice what you choose to allow in your life, and it's my choice what I allow and what I don't allow. So again, I don't really know the moral of the story, but life is freaking tough. It has been tough. I have been through it and trying to understand it and trying to feel it rather than ignore it like we all would love to do. I would love to ignore it, and I am just sitting in my feelings and I am bawling my eyes out and I am crying and I am trying to understand what is the best way and what I need to do to get through it, because that's the only way to get through it is actually feeling it. I'm not through it. I still got a long ways to go, but again, I'll take all the feedback, all the input, all the suggestions. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.